Okay, I'm back. I'm in Circle of Life, and this is what I am going to be working on today. Now, I have heard people say, "Well, yeah, you can do so much more with a page because you have um, so many different colored pencils." So we're going back to the basics today, y'all. I went and grabbed Crayola. Okay. So, one yellow, orange, orange red, red, two different browns, light brown and brown, two greens, yellow, green, and green. Whoops, got away. Two blues, sky blue and blue, and then black. Let's see what we can do. Alrighty, so the basic colors. Put our light on here, see if that helps y'all. Yeah, my shadow's on the other side. And let's just play and see what we can do with just a few pencils. I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be hard. Don't make it difficult. I'm going to start with my two greens, and let's just start with some of these leaves. I am holding my pencil further back. I don't want to get too much pressure too quick. So I'm going to start right here at the edge and just lay in some of this green. Now, I know this is further away, and some of you are like, why don't you zoom in? Well, for one reason is I am sitting, and every time I zoom in, I have to stand up and readjust everything. So you can take your two fingers on your camera and pull it open, and hopefully that will zoom for you. And if not, maybe you've got a way to put it up on your TV screen. Okay? So, changing to the other green. Let's do the part here. And then I'm going to go out some. And I'm going to blend into my first green. Some of you have wondered how I am health-wise. I do not like to give my health and family updates when I'm doing reviews, so that's why you haven't had anything in a while. Now I'm going to scrunch down, and I'm going to get this darker. I did have my allergy test done, and it was nature, animals, outdoorsy stuff. Go back to the other green. And turns out that I am allergic to, are you ready for this? Cockroaches and dust mites. That's it. So that is probably not the cough. I told one of my friends, and she's like, wait a minute, do they know how clean your house is? Do they know how decluttered you are? And I was like, evidently not. So, and they gave me lots of things to do, and I mean, we know the hypoallergenic pillowcases, the covers, we run an air purifier in our bedroom all the time. We've got a air purifier built into our AC unit. We don't keep the house open unless we're airing it once a year. Let's see, what else did they say? Oh, we have no carpet. We pulled all the carpet out a long time ago. So, and I'm just varying between these two greens. That's all I'm doing for this. This is a flip, so that's why I went darker underneath. Yeah, so anyway, all the different things that they had a whole list of stuff. So you don't need to list stuff down in the comments. I've probably already heard it. So most of it we're already doing. So anyway, next step is to go to I've still got my appointment at the end of August. That's as soon as they could see me for ear, nose, throat. And it's just a consult. We couldn't get them to actually schedule a test yet. So we'll have to go again for that. But anyway, so the saga continues. We know I do still have the reflux, and I am back on reflux meds, and they're starting to take effect again. I had to get off all that for the allergy tests, and so I hacked for the last few days, but today seems to be a little bit better. I was at my sister's yesterday, and we did some shredding and all that, and I'm sure that aggravated me some. But, yeah, seems to be a little bit better today. But at least we know that it's not cats or dogs or anything like that. Yeah, it was like $500 plus for that test. And then a lady comes in and she goes, well, we can treat it for $200 a month until your deductible's met. Would you like treatment? And I was like, okay, we're not employed. We just forked out $500 to find out it was dust mites and cockroaches. No. And then the doctor comes in, the specialist for allergies, and she goes, well, I would suggest that we don't treat this. She goes, it's just too vast of a thing to be able to treat for dust mites. And I said, yeah. And she goes, okay. And then she started going over the list of everything. So anyway, just like, good grief. So they're caught up on mine. In-laws, they're still doing fine, just day to day. Sometimes they're forgetting to wear their pull-ups, so the laundry gets done a little more often. They're forgetting to eat the days that they're alone, which is only Sundays, I think. Then a lot of times there's not evidence the next day that they've eaten at all. So, but they've got plenty of Boost in the fridge, and the doctor said as long as they're having 2 Boosts a day, they should be all right. So far, you know, we've checked with different people, and we're doing what we can and what we need to. So, okay, so I've done just a few of the leaves, so you can see just from 2 pencils and their Crayola what is possible there. Now, I am going to come in with the darker brown. It actually says brown on it. And I'm going to come in here at just the tips, just to make that just a little bit darker. Just down in those V's. I don't want these leaves to turn brown. I just want a little bit of darkness down in there and under that flip. So when you're adding brown, if whatever you're doing, like right here there is just a touch of brown, you can go back in with your first color and go over it again. Okay, so I can go back in there. But see, it did make that deeper. You can also use gray. Gray is probably a little bit better to use. I should have something under this page so I'm not indenting. Paper's pretty thick, but I'm going to slide one of these sheets in there anyway. But yeah, gray is probably a better color to use than the brown. But again, I'm trying to go with just the basics, and I didn't have a basic gray in my Crayolas that were laying over there with Evie's stuff. All right, let's grab an orange, and let's do this flower right here. Okay, let's just attack this big one. Okay, there you go. It's at least a little bit bigger for you. So what I'm going to do then is all these little areas that are flipped over are going to be this lighter. Because remember, I've got the orange, I've got red orange, and then I've got red. I don't even have any pinks pulled. I could have pulled a pink, but that's all right. This will be fine. Again, the basic thing I want to show you is that just with basic pencils, you can do a lot, y'all. You don't have to go buying good sets of 72 and 150 count pencils. You can if you want to. They're fun to have. And again, the reason I have so many different pencils is because some are sent to me for reviews. Okay? But just learn to manipulate the pencils you have on your pages and keep going. You'll be fine. Really will. There we go. Just do all the flips. Got all those. Now I'm going to come in and do, let's see. I'm going to do down through the centers, because it is going to be a basic orange flower. And the centers, or like here on this side, will be a little bit lighter. I'm not going all the way to the edges because I do want to come in and add another color yet. And even using whatever pencils, it still takes a while. If you're wanting to get a page done fast, use some pastels or something. But you're probably, I say probably, not going to get the depth that you can get with pencils. Pencils is one of the slowest mediums that you're going to use. Coloring is not a fast craft. Okay? It's just really not. If you're really doing your pages the service of getting the depth and everything, then it's probably going to take a while. Okay? So I'm trying to see what's on top and making sure that I get those edges. Okay, I think we've got pretty much that. So that was just the orange. Now I'm going to change over to the orange red. I'm just going around and I'm going to blend into that orange. See, orange red is not so strong that it takes away from the orange. Do you see how I left that little piece right there? That's where I can come back with brown or my red and just scoot some color in there. And see how it brightened it up? And then I can come back with my original color and just do a light blend. And then if I see I still need some more down in the darker areas, then I can still come in and do that. Okay? I mean, you see how much time I'm putting into this one petal. If you'd like to see me do this, I mean, there's no way I'm going to finish this page in the amount of time we have. If you'd like to see me come back in, and yeah, I'm back with red orange again, and do some more on this page with the basic colored pencils, just leave me comments down below and I can do that. Now I know that this is on top of this and this is on top of this, so I don't want to go here. That's where my original color is going to be. I am going to blend this a little bit, but then I'm going to come back in with that first orange and blend. Okay, so back in with the first orange and get this side here and this one because those are on top, and then blend everything. See, even that's blending. Just take your time with it. And then I'm going to come back in with the red and do way down in here. Okay. All right, let's do another one. Let's do one of these little ones. Because like I said, I know we're going to run out of time. There's no way we're going to finish this. How many of you really get impatient doing all the layers of color? Do you find that at some point you just start going at it and you don't care as much? I find that if I've got a big background that I'm going to do, that sometimes I need to do it first, because by the time I get to it, I'm so tired of the page that sometimes I'll rush through it. Unless I'm going to go back and use, like I've done in the past, one of my background techniques with the color sticks or pastel chalks or a stencil, something like that. Then I find I'm okay. All right, so you see how I'm going around here. It's not real hard. It's just time consuming. I'm coming in with that red-orange now. Red-orange? Yeah, red-orange. I think red-orange has a little bit more red in it, and the orange-red has a little bit more orange in it. Or maybe it doesn't matter. It's just the way that the creator put the name on the pencil. I don't know. I don't pretend to know all that stuff. All right, so you get the idea there. Then I come back in with red and do some more of this. Now we'll probably go ahead and finish the leaves and that flower off camera. But if there's something else you want to see, like I said, let me know. We're going to pick up the 2 browns and the black. Now black is harsh, so if you use it sparingly. But what can we do here? Let's just start here. This is the light brown. I do have a timer set today, so that's why I don't keep getting up and looking at my video to see what the time shows. And see, I'm doing right up next to that line. Then when I come in with the next color, the regular brown, I come on this side of the line and blend into that other brown. And that's given us the illusion that this piece is on top of this piece. Okay? So even if you're not doing this page, hopefully you can take some of what I'm saying and apply it to a page that you are doing. Okay? And the only time I would use the black is like way up in here. Let's go ahead and do this section. A little bit of blending right there, just blend that out. Then come in with the other brown. This. Because this is coming around. Then I'm going to come back in here and bring the darker brown down a bit. And then just let it kind of fade out. But then to make that look like it's shoved up in there further, I'm going to come in with the black very sparingly, okay? Barely using it. But just enough that it makes that look like it's tucked up under there. And see, like where this curve is, I can use the black a little bit right there. Makes that curve look like it's back in there a little bit. But like I said, use your black sparingly. And if you have 3 browns, that's where you could come in with another brown. But do you see just the basic pencils? They work. Now, that's not good news if you're trying to convince somebody that you need more pencils. Oops, sorry. And then it continues here and right here. So then I'm going to come in with the darker shade, my second shade. And see, it's already taken us, what, 12.5 minutes according to my timer over here? Like I said, it's not a fast process. Coming down with these. Just coming down with these colors. Yep, that looks good. All right, and then back with the black again. Just very sparingly. Just enough to really tuck that up in there. Don't go wild with it. Come back in with your original color. That lightest shade that we've used in that area. Just do some blending. So anything that's tucked up under is going to be a little bit darker. Now see, this comes like right here a little bit, but then there's nothing. So I am not going to do that. I am probably going to let that be part of the background. Yeah, so you're going to get things like that on pages. Even the pages that I have done that I sell on Etsy, there's a few places like that on there too. It's just part of the nature of the beast. Unless somebody is totally drawing their pages completely by hand, you're probably going to get some of that somewhere. And by hand, some of you are like, well, how else do they draw it? AI programs. That's what I use to help me draw mine that are over for sale on Etsy. Yeah. So, yeah, it's Etsy.com, if you want to write it down, /shop/Pam, and then just a 1, and then stroke, STROKE. I decided to tuck that underneath this one. And see, there's times when you can decide what you want to tuck underneath and what you want to be on top. Just decide. Just commit to something and do it. Yeah, I'll put my Etsy link down in the description. How's that? So far I have only 2 batches of coloring sheets, and they are cardinals and hummingbirds. And I've done tutorials on both. They're right before this one, when I was demoing the hippie crafter pencils, which I do like. I will be doing the hippie crafter paint markers soon. I'm waiting on another set. Some of them came in that were leaked, and I contacted them, and they were like, oh, no, we're going to send you some more. So that speaks very, very well of their company. And I think it's just a little family-owned business. So anytime we can support those little businesses like that, I think we're good. good to go ahead and do that. Okay, so you can see this is going to take time. Don't get in a rush. I'm telling you, if you get in a rush, it's very likely that it's going to show up. It's going to show that you rushed. So if you're coloring and you get tired of what you're coloring, either go to another page, or if you don't live in Arizona or Texas where it's so hot right now, get out and go for a walk and then come back to it. Now, which of these do I want on top? This one is on top of this. So I know I'm going to go darker right here. This one is on top of this one, so I'm going darker on this side. And see, I did opposite over there, so, oh well, maybe it was under over there and then went over on top here. I don't know. These, it's kind of hard to tell, so just pick one and go for it. And then coming out of there, because it's tucked underneath. And then a bit of black. Oh, no, it wasn't 12.5 minutes. That's another timer. Sorry. Yeah, somebody probably realized that. The 12.5 minutes is 12:30. I got to go pick Evie up from school at 1. So that was a timer that was, or a alarm that was showing up there. Not my timer. It says I have like a minute and something left until I got to start thinking about stopping on this page. Okay, so can you see how we did just these areas with these pencils? That's all we did. Basic red and orange, basic greens, basic browns, and a black. So when you decide that you're ready to try going back to the basics, go for it. I really, really think that you might enjoy doing a page that is back to basic colors just for the practice. Okay, just practicing. You can do so much with basic pencils. So if you're wanting the big sets, fine, go for it. It does give you a lot of options, but do you have to have all those colors in order to, oops, there's my alarm. Do you have to have all those colors to get a nice page? No, not at all. You don't have to. You know what? Oh, did I just color all that off screen? No. Oh, good. I remembered I blew this up and I thought maybe that was off screen, but I didn't blow it up that big, so we're safe. Shoosh. It was like, I'll have to just do another video. But no, we're good. Okay. So keep going. Just what you do in one area, do in the other areas. For instance, I did use brown tucked down in there, so I want to make sure I still use brown tucked down in there. Make my page uniform. Whatever I do in one area, do it in all the others. Okay? All right, so yeah, we didn't get much done at all, but what is done is really got some depth to it, and just with basic pencils. All right? Okay, again, this is a current book at the time of this making. This is on Amazon. I have done a review of this book. You'll just have to look further back. But yeah, I really like it. So hope I get a thumbs up. Share this with your friends. Let's get some more followers on here. And yeah, keep those pencils sharp. Let's go.